Hello everyone. Well, Christmas will soon be upon us, where we'll all have lots and lots of free time to settle down as a family in front of the TV and watch all the marvellous programmes that the BBC and ITV and others have been saving up all year to give us on Christmas. Oh, I can't wait. And of course, you need to know what's on. There's no point in just flicking through the channels like you normally do, trying to find something to watch, because very kindly we have the Radio Times provided for us. I buy this every year for many years, and my family tradition, we always get the double issue Radio Times, but only at Christmas. I never ever buy this normally, because you can look at the TV Times listings on your device. There is a Radio Times website and you can see what's on TV for the week through that. But there's something nice, isn't there, about having a physical magazine to hold. So this dates from the 21st of September 2024 to the 3rd of January 2025. So let's snuggle in under my polyester blanket made from recycled bottles and see what wonders we've got. I'll see if I can pick out any highlights. I've not actually looked at this yet. Lidl have got you covered for Christmas. Oh, they've got you very covered for Christmas, haven't they? Look at all those Christmas foods there from Lidl. Oh, Stars of Christmas, Brenda Blethyn on page 38. A Cracker, Chris McCausland on page 12. Wow. Uh-oh. Right, these are what the Radio Times consider to be the highlights. So let's read them out and see how many you agree with. How many are you going to watch? How many am I going to watch? Number 1, highlight, Gavin and Stacey, the finale, Christmas Day at 9 p.m. It's the most anticipated sitcom finale in decades. And now, 5 years on from when Nessa got down on one knee and asked Smithy to marry her, we finally get to see what happened next. Tidy. I will be watching that. Number 2 is Doctor Who. The high-energy Ntigatwa is booked into a time-travelling hotel where danger lies behind locked doors, while Nicola Coughlan brings joy into our lives as the Doctor's companion. I will not be watching that pile of woke I don't want to swear. I will not watch that. I haven't watched Doctor Who since David Tennant left. Well, I tried watching that Matt Smith, was it? I didn't like the cut of his jib, and Doctor Who is dead to me now, and it's dead to many folk. So, no. So 1 out of 2 so far. Number 3 is the film for Christmas Day, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, at 6:10 p.m. on BBC One. West Wallaby Street's finest return for a cracking brand new feature-length outing when Wallace's new invention gets hijacked by a feathery old foe. It's up to the resourceful Gromit to save the day as usual. I will either watch that at the time or watch it on catch-up. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad so far. It's doing well. Number 4. Outnumbered. I thought it said ITV. Everything seems to be on BBC One at the moment. Oh no, there is some other channels. On Boxing Day at 9:40, we have a new episode of Outnumbered. Hugh Dennis and Claire Skinner return as the parents of 3 unruly kids, although the adorable children are grown-ups and are starting to have offspring of their own. So I used to like watching Outnumbered, certainly. So, blimey, what is happening? I am going to be watching 3 out of the 4 I've said so far. Right, I think we're going a bit downhill from then on. So, number 5 is All Creatures Great and Small on Monday the 23rd of December, 9 p.m, Channel 5. The celebrations are twofold as Christmas coincides with Jimmy's first birthday. But it's Mrs. Hall who's at the centre of events after the housekeeper receives some troubling news. I've never seen any of that new All Creatures. I did watch the original series on the Beeb, only because it was on the telly. It wasn't something I chose, you know. Back in the day of 1 or 2, 2 channel, no, it would have been 3. I think there was always 3 channels. Maybe there was only 2 when I was a bairn. But anyway, there was mainly 3 channels, BBC One, BBC Two, ITV, until Channel 4 and then Channel 5 came along. But I used to watch it on BBC One only because it was the choice of my mum and dad. So, yeah, I've not really got into it, the new series, but I have been to where it's filmed, the main bit. I don't know where it is, can't remember, but I don't know if it's Grasmere or it's somewhere in the Yorkshire Dales anyway. I'm sure Mark and I have been there when we've had a week in the caravan. Number 6 is Call the Midwife. My mum likes it, so I expect it'll be on, but I don't really watch it. Well, I quite like seeing it when it's in the 60s, you know. I quite like seeing the fashions and see if they've got the domestic appliances correct in the kitchen, you know, that sort of thing. Anyway, on Christmas Day at 8 p.m. and Boxing Day at 7:30 p.m, I don't know if it's the repeat or it's on twice, Sister Julienne, played by Jenny Agutter of the Railway Children fame. Many an adolescent boy or younger boy possibly had fantasies about Jenny Agutter. Not me, of course. I think it probably, for anyone, it would have been the Doctor for me. But Sister Julienne and her staff are saying goodbye to the 1960s, but at the end of the decade isn't without its surprises. Expect turbulence for the Buckles and some Blue Peter related confusion. Oh, so if it's the end of the 60s, it might be set in 1969, possibly. So no, I won't watch that really, but I might be forced to have it in the background, I don't know. Then on number 7 is Mortimer and Whitehouse Gone Christmas Fishing on Christmas Eve, 9:15. Paul Whitehouse and Bob Mortimer are in France, sharing absurd musings, the odd glass of wine and a riverbank or two. Delightful, funny and heartwarming. Not something that appeals, you know, 2 old men talking while they're killing fish. I've seen little bits of it, but it's not really my cup of tea, really. But if you like it, you go for it. Oh, Downton Abbey, A New Era on Christmas Day, 9 p.m. on ITV. The warm and emotional second film spin-off from the series, packed in 5 new cast members, a wedding, a trip to the Riviera, a silent movie shoot, and much more besides. It's as stuffed as a Christmas hamper, which is no bad thing. Well, I've seen it, and I got the DVD. I did like Downton. I do like Downton Abbey. Seen them all. But I have seen the film. Bought the DVD, wore the T-shirt. Don't need to see it again, so it's not something I'll be tuning in for, because I can watch it whenever I like. What's gone in here? Right. Number 9, we've got on streaming Squid Game 2 on Boxing Day. Netflix biggest ever show returns. He won the game, but now player 456, Lee Jung-jae, wants to put an end to the barbaric challenge. The only things I've seen of Squid Game are when they've had it on Gogglebox. Not my cup of tea. I won't be watching. I don't have Netflix anyway. At number 10, we've got A Ghost Story for Christmas, Woman of Stone on Christmas Eve, 10:15 BBC Two. Mark Gatiss sets nerves jangling in his latest Scarefest, which finds author E. Nesbitt, played by Celia Imrie, I like her, recounting a tale about marble tomb effigies rising each Christmas Eve. I don't know. I might watch it on catch up, but it doesn't really tickle my fancy, that one, despite the fact that Celia Imrie's in it. But no. E. Nesbitt was an author, of course. Did she do E. Nesbitt? Did she do The Railway Children? Oh, I'm getting confused with E. Nesbitt and Enid Blyton. But I think E. Nesbitt might have written The Railway Children. Anyway, I think she wrote children's stories back in the day. Number 11, Bad Tidings. This is definitely a big miss for me. On Sunday, the 22nd of December, 7:30 p.m. on Sky Showcase and Sky Max. Don't think I'll get that anyway. Comedy starring Lee Mack and Chris McCausland as neighbours who must put their difference aside when burglars strike in their street. I'm not a fan of either of those two comedians, so I won't watch that. even if I could. And at number 12, The Hairy Bikers You'll Never Ride Alone, Monday the 23rd of December at 9 p.m. Cy King pays an emotional tribute to his best mate Dave Myers, who died earlier this year, reminding us of their adventures, cookery shows and their friendship. Well, you know, I'm sure they were nice chaps, or Dave was a nice chap, I don't know. It's never appealed to me. I once tuned in to the Hairy Bikers and realised they weren't hairy at all. They might have had a bit of growth on their face and long hair, but I don't think they were hairy in the term I describe hairy, so I didn't bother watching. So let's see, let's recap. Out of the 12 Christmas treats, according to the Radio Times, I'm going to actually want to watch 1, 2, 3... 3 out of 12. Started well, and then it went downhill. But of course, you might want to watch things. You might love Doctor Who, and Call the Midwife and all that, and whatever, but who knows? We're all different, aren't we? But that was my choice. And there's 12 treats at the new year. I'll read them out, but I won't read all the doodahs. So, at number 1, SAS Rogue Heroes on New Year's Day. It says New Year's Day and Thursday the 2nd of January, so I don't know why. It could be the repeat, it could be 2 episodes, I don't know. But anyway, that's the new thing on BBC One. Just looking at the picture of a man with a gun with his mouth open doesn't appeal. Number 2, though, The Traitors, starts on New Year's Day at 8 p.m. with Claudia Winkleman. I will be watching that. I didn't see the very first series, but I got into the second series. Mark and I watched it together. And yes, I enjoyed that. So yes, I will look at The Traitors. Vera on ITV, 2nd of January, New Year's Day and Thursday the 2nd of January, it says here. It's time to say farewell to Brenda Blethyn's detective, who bows out with 2 feature-length cases, followed by a documentary on Friday. I don't like Vera. Well, I don't mind the actress. It's not something I'm interested in, that sort of show. But I know my mum likes it and Mark likes it, so they'll be pleased. Number 4. Where's no? Oh, it's there. The number 4 is The Split, Barcelona, Sunday 29th of December, Monday the 30th of December, 9 p.m. BBC One. Oh, some rubbish drama with Nicola Walker and Stephen Mangan. I won't watch that. Number 5, Taskmaster, New Year treat. I'm waiting to say when it's on. I've never seen an episode of that and never will. Number 6, Lockerbie, A Search for the Truth. Oh, I can see there, what's his face? Colin Firth is in this. It's on Sky Atlantic, so I might not be able to get it. Some sort of drama about Lockerbie. I remember when that happened, when that plane blew up and all the bits landed over Lockerbie in Scotland and obviously caused devastation. So it's not something I really want to watch. There's a film called Black Panther, New Year's Eve, BBC One. Nah, it's not a comedy. It's not got Barbara Windsor in it, you know, with her pert bosoms and a man saying, "Ooh, what a lovely pair." No, if it's not got Barbara Windsor in it with that laugh, it's not really my cup of tea. Number 8, we've got Maria Callas, The Final Act. BBC Two, A Profile of the Opera Star. My dad might have liked that, but no, not really into opera. Here's one I'm going to watch. At number 9, Kunk on Life. Monday the 30th of December, BBC Two. What is the meaning of life? Philomena Kunk tackles philosophy's biggest question in her style, in this highly amusing one. Oh, it's only a one-off. Oh, never mind. And there's Kunk on Brooker on page 57. So yes, I'll be watching that. Lives Well Lived is at number 10 with Kirsty Walk. Nah. But if you want to learn about, it's one of those happy shows that tells us who died in 2024. So we've got among them Timothy West, Dame Maggie Smith, Anne Nightingale and Rob Burrows. So they always do that, don't they? Especially the news channels, they often do a little segment where they just show pictures of the people that have died this year. Well, the famous people, obviously. many people die, but just the so-called famous folk with when, you know, when they were born, when they died, and maybe a little montage of their finest work. But yeah, if you want to watch that, that's fine. It's not really something I'll tune into. Number 11 on the streaming on Netflix. Again, I won't get it because I don't have Netflix. It's Missing You. It's a drama about a Harlan Coben page turner. Oh, it's a dramatisation of a Harlan Coben. I assume that's an author. It's a dramatisation of a book. And at number 12, we've got Gladiators Celebrity Special. Oh no, I won't be watching that. It's got Rob Beckett. I don't like him. Ellie Taylor. Meh. Who's that third one there? Oh, Louise Minchin and Joel Dommett. Joel Dommett, the bloke who does that Masked Singer thing. He does the I'm a Celebrity, after show thing. And he's the one that I can never look at without picturing him stark be naked with his member in hand and completing that thing. He does, I've seen it on the interweb. So that's all I see. He'll never live it down in my eyes. Right, Peter Kay live? No. I don't mind. Well, I liked Peter Kay in the old, Phoenix Nights and some of the other things he's done, but I don't know. I don't think I'll bother. It's at these big arenas. There's Leeds First Direct. I don't see the point in going to see anything at these huge arenas when, it might be released on DVD or put on telly at some point. You can watch it all comfortable and just, not have loads of strangers about you. So I'm not interested. We'll try and flick through. I've been going far too long. There's a whole article here on Doctor Who. No, thank you. Oh, an article on Christmas crackers, interviewing Chris McCausland, Judy Love and Lee Mack, flip, and Greg Davis and Alex Horn, having a blast. Let's read this because it's French and Saunders. I like a bit of French and Saunders. We'll see what this is. French and Saunders say it wouldn't be Christmas without a sprout, and I agree because I love sprouts. I could eat them like chocolates, and I don't mind the after effects of sprouts. I like a good sprout induced fart or farts. You're full of sprouts and lambrusco that my mum gets at Christmas. I like a little lambrusco, and you've had your meal. In our case, pine nut roast and all the veg, and then you just go in the living room, doze off and trump your way into oblivion. That's how Christmas should be. Right, what is your best Christmas cracker joke? Dawn says, who is the bane of Santa's life? The elf and safety officer. And Jennifer says, where is the joke? Favourite festive film? Dawn says It's a Wonderful Life. And Jennifer says, I only ever watch Bridesmaids. It's not even a Christmas movie. Well, I've seen It's a Wonderful Life. It's in black and white. I haven't seen Bridesmaids. Best Christmas song? Jennifer says, I like a bit of Slade at Christmas, a bit of Wizard, a bit of the 70s. Dawn says, yes, a bit of Slade. They're showing their age there, aren't they? I don't wish it should be Christmas every day. It would be so boring if it was Christmas every day. That would mean I'd have to do Advent videos all year round. That would be a video every day. I think I would burn out. And you would certainly not want to watch that, would you? Have you spent Christmas together? Dawn, we've got separate families. Jennifer says, we don't actually live together. We're not joined at the hip. Who is the better Christmas host? Well, Dawn, of course, with all her M&S food, I expect, provided free by that fairy. But anyway, Dawn says, I do a lot of preparation, but then I'm grumpy on the day. Jennifer says, I'm quite a good host. I like the prep, but I like the drinking mainly. Favourite festive tipple? Jennifer says champagne, followed quickly by red wine, white wine, port, and a small whiskey. And Dawn says, my mother-in-law always gets me Baileys, so I'll have that on ice. Brussels sprouts, thumbs up or thumbs down. Jennifer, I love Brussels sprouts. Dawn, you cannot have sprouts. Ah, I knew I liked them for a reason. Both Dawn and Jennifer are giving a thumbs up to Brussels sprouts. Ah, maybe it's their age. Maybe it's older people that like Brussels sprouts. I don't know. But as long as they're cooked nicely and you get them fresh, especially if you can buy them on the stalk as well. My mum makes them very well. But I mean, I think my love of sprouts, I don't think my mum likes them actually. But, you know, obviously I had sprouts as a kid, and if my mum had served me up frozen, horrible, mushy sprouts, I wouldn't have liked them. But my mum's always done sprouts really nice, and I really like them. I think I'd probably say it's my favourite vegetable. Right, it wouldn't be Christmas without Dawn, a big row and a fight. Jennifer, having to go outside to fart. Well, why go outside? If you're in your own home, just let rip. Just let rip. As long as you don't follow through, it's fine. Oh, and here's, I won't read all this, but I'll probably have a look at it. It's an article about Gavin and Stacey, what's occurring. I think there's going to be a documentary about it, isn't there? Is it on Gavin and Stacey? I think there is, yes. I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a little sort of documentary, so I'll watch that as well. I do like Gavin and Stacey. As I said before, I cannot stand James Corden. I can tolerate him as Smithy in Gavin and Stacey, even though I'm not really keen on the character either. But I do like the show, and I'm sure many of my viewers, many of you folks watching, like Gavin and Stacey too. But if you don't, that's fine as well. And there's an article here, a Call the Midwife related article about Blue Peter. I might read that. And then there's an article on the Wallace and Gromit film, which they are plugging heavily. It's the BBC ident at the moment, isn't it, if you're watching. 5 quick pick, well, I'll just read these out if you've got children. 5 picks for the kids, or kidults. I believe I'm a kidult. Christmas Day, there's a Julia Donaldson animation called Tiddler. It's got a fish in it. The Primrose Railway Children is something else on 22nd of December. The Night Before Christmas in Wonderland, Friday the 13th of December on Sky Cinema. Quentin Blake's Box of Treasures. That's on CBBC. And The Famous Five on CBBC and BBC One. It's the summer of 1940 and the 5 are reunited at a hotel on Cragstone Ridge and greeted by an old foe who needs their help. Well, I won't watch that. I didn't really do the Famous Five books. I was more Secret Seven. But of course it will be the sort of woke, cleaned up version. It won't be anything original, obviously, because there was some language used in Famous Five and Secret Seven books that possibly not for this the current world we're living in. Oh, who's this? Oh, Lang Lang. Yes, Lang Lang. He's that piano player. I don't think he's related. So this is a thing about piano. Oh, it's just an article about the piano. I never watched it, where they were playing piano or something in a station. Didn't watch it. Just some more articles. Disney Plus rubbish. What's this? Angela Jolie. I'm not impressed with Hollywood and all that shite. 5 picks of the arts. I won't read that out. I'm sure none of us are really very arty. You wouldn't be if you were watching me. You know, I think you're quite base if you watch me. Based or base? I think you don't mind. If you watch my channel, you don't mind the odd double entendre, do you? Oh, who's he in the uniform? Hello. Oh, I might start watching All Creatures Great and Small after all. I like a man in an army uniform. Preferably out of it. Or you can have a 3 months trial of Apple TV if you buy the Radio Times. Oh, look, it's got Bad Sisters. You could watch that for free. And Mark and I are currently watching Bad Sisters. Oh, there's that Martin Lewis. Can't stomach him. He got my hopes up when I was absolutely stony broke. He got my hopes up, thinking I'd be able to claim back some of the many bank charges I suffered from going overdrawn. Did all he said and nothing happened, so I blame him. I just don't like him. He gives me the creeps. I'm sorry if you like him. Oh look, here's an article with Brenda Blethen from Vera. Ta-ra, love. She's played DCI Vera Stanhope for over 14 years, it says here. And of course we've got some adverts here for people you might want to see. Michael Ball and Alfie Bowe, Riverdance, Marty Pello and Cyndi Lauper. You can go and see them on Cyndi on her farewell tour. That's more about Brenda. Oh, and then there's an article here with the outnumbered family. So that's that. Crikey, I've hardly done anything. I've been talking for ages and I've hardly scratched the surface. It's quite, just try and whiz through. The thing, I buy the Radio Times because of course they highlight all the things they expect to be, you know, get high viewerships. But I have to go through quite slowly and look at all the little channels, all the many channels, and see if they're repeating something from the past that I like and might want to record. Kunkon Brooker, Charlie Brooker, not, you know, I did watch a lot of his stuff when he was on telly, but he's written a lot of the Black Mirror episodes, which I have seen a few of, and I think if that's in your head, I wouldn't want to know you. You know, he just gives me vibes. But I don't know the man, you know, I never will. I won't bother reading any of that. Well, I'll read it later, maybe. You know, Great Gatsby musical, is it? So there's articles here about the big main shows. Oh, look at that! Look at that! I've just seen something. Look at that there, look. Aber Voyage. I won't say I'll never go again, who knows, but not for a while. And if I've got a reason to go, you know, there's some special reason. Oh, there's a little article about Bad Sisters there. A Year to Remember. There's a big picture quiz. I don't know, some sort of quiz where there's a big picture. It's upside down, but I don't care. Oh, what's she doing? Kim Cattrall. She was the slapper in Sex and the City. She's doing something. Oh, podcast. 10 podcasts in a pear tree. Right. Sport. Get through that now. Boring. New for Christmas, streaming, yeah, streaming, Strictly Tour, streaming, the best dramas of 2020, Mr. Bates versus the Post Office, One Day, Ludwig, I didn't mind that Ludwig actually, I did watch that, Slow Horses, Baby Reindeer, didn't see it, no, Sherwood, didn't see it, La-di-dum. Oh, hello, Molly Boo. What you doing? Anyway, let's just have a quick look. Let's look what's... I like Christmas Eve telly. It's when I was a kid, Christmas Eve telly was when you're all excited for the day coming, you know. I still vaguely remember when I was excited about Christmas. We've got the Great Christmas Bake Off coming up, Christmas Eve. Who's doing it? There's going to be Chris Bisson. I think he was in Shameless and Coronation Street. Natalie Cassidy. That's you know, what's her face? Is it Sonia from EastEnders? Dean Gaffney, also from EastEnders. Shobna Gulati. I think she was in Dinner Ladies and Coronation Street. I think it's her. And Sherry Murphy. Well, she was in some Carry On. Well, she was in Carry On Behind. She's in a couple of Carry Ons at least, I think. Loose Woman. I think that's the person I'm thinking of. And various other things. Oh, look. Comedy. Dick Clement and Ian Lafreniere. Remember Porridge? Oh, I never really liked Porridge. The sitcom set in a in a prison. Not really my cup of tea. I do remember it, and I must have seen a lot of them. Again, it was something my dad would have put on, I expect. There'll be loads of repeats, obviously, but often they're better than the stuff they're putting out. BBC One, oof, no. Repair Shop. Yeah. They're showing the 2019 Gavin and Stacey Christmas special, BBC One, 10:35. TikTok Top 100 on ITV1. Bloody, I'm not on TikTok. So Christmas bag, Gogglebox, BBC 4. BBC 4 quite good for nostalgic things, and sometimes Channel 5. So BBC 4, if you're someone of my age, you might be interested. At 7 p.m, Top of the Pops Christmas 1984. Christmas Day edition featuring Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Howard Jones, Duran Duran, Nick Kershaw, Culture Club and Band-Aid. Then there's the Porridge Doodah, then an episode of Porridge, then the Two Ronnies sketchbook, then an episode of Yes Minister, then Lucy Worsley's Christmas Carol Odyssey, and then something about Madagascar. Boring. I'm not into natural history on the whole. I don't mind history, but it has to be relatively modern history. Catch Me If You Can film on Channel 5 afternoon. That was the first film I saw. Well, it was Mark and I went on our first date. Well, we had a first meeting at a coffee shop, but our first date was at a cinema, and we saw the film Catch Me If You Can. Oh, World's Strongest Man, for some reason they always put that on at Christmas on Channel 5. Two Ronnies again on Channel 5. BBC 3. I thought they'd... is there still BBC 3? Well, must be. Not a lot on. But it's looking through all these other channels that, with the, all these like Dave and 5 Star and you and Yesterday. There can be quite some interesting things hidden away. That's why I have to get this. I'll be having to go through it slowly. So there we go, Christmas Day, with the highlight for me being Gavin and Stacey. Mrs Brown's Boys has been put on at 11:05 p.m. Bloody rubbish that is now. Absolute pap. Oh, crikey. Christmas morning service, BBC One, from Halifax Minster. I wonder if it's live. Toy Story 3, Minions, The Rise of Gru. Bargain Hunt on Christmas Day. Blimey. That's on BBC 2. Good Morning Britain on Christmas Day. Blimey, O'Reilly. I'm just going to watch that. I used to like it when Noel Edmonds used to be live on Christmas Day. That was the golden era of Doodah. But I suppose when I was growing up, there would have been nothing on television first thing. Probably. Strictly Come Dancing. Oh, that's a repeat. Oh, no, it's not. Is that the... Oh, no, it's the festive edition. Do you know, I do watch Strictly, but I very seldom watch the festive edition. Very seldom. We've got something called The King at 3 p.m. So then it's the Wallace and Gromit, EastEnders, Call the Midwife, Gavin and Stacey, EastEnders again, then Mrs Brown's Boys, that's Beeb, BBC 2, Some Like It Hot film, North by Northwest film, the musical classics of Morecambe and Wise. They always bring out Morecambe and Wise at Christmas. And then there's a Morecambe and Wise Christmas show. Then a programme about Roger Moore, from Roger Moore with Love, and then The Lady in the Van, the comedy drama based on Alan Bennett's memoir. I actually saw The Lady in the Van play a lot, in a theatre in Keswick, and there was some naughty swear words. There was quite a lot of old ladies going like that. I was quite shocked myself. ITV1, if you want an afternoon film after seeing The King, it's Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, then Bullseye with Freddie Flintoff, Emmerdale, Coronation Street, The Chase, Celebrity Special, and then Downton Abbey New Year. So I think ITV, we can sort of cross them off. We won't be bothering with any of that. Channel 4, The Italian Job, never seen it, never will. Another Christmas film. The Piano at Christmas, Raiders of the Lost Ark, haven't seen it, never will. Notting Hill, saw it once, can't be bothered to see it again. BBC4, Kiri Katanawa at Christmas, The Merry Widow from Glyndebourne, Top of the Pops Christmas Hits, and Top of the Pops from 1975. And then on Channel 5, yeah, a lot of these repeated, you know, Britain's favourite Christmas songs, Britain's favourite 80s songs, Britain's favourite Christmas songs, and then The Railway Children return, Britain's favourite Christmas comedy moments, a bit repeat. When 80s TV goes horribly wrong. So yeah, it's just a load of... There's a few things. It's a bit better than last year, I think. I will want to watch a few things. But it won't matter if I don't see them when they're on, because there's the iPlayer and other catch-up. You can watch them, can't you? If you want to. So yeah, there's Outnumbered there. BBC One Boxing Day. Masked Singer's back with that Joel bloke. Honestly, I don't know how you can be fooled into doing that on the internet and then the person filmed it and then shared it, you know. Of course, he's the victim, but I mean, I'm sure the person who put this out of him pleasuring himself, you know, he did it. He took his John Thomas out, you know. So, you know, that's about it. I've told you my highlights. Hopefully you've got some highlights maybe you'll want to see. But yeah, it's not like Christmas of yore. I mean, most of us hopefully have nice memories of Christmas when we're growing up. But it was a different time. And look at this. Jack Black, what an a-hole. I don't know him, but that's what I think. You know, I mean, people of my generation will probably agree with me that things were better. Things were better when life was more simple, when we didn't have loads of TV channels. We had quality, not quantity. Now it's, you know, you can watch anything you want. All the streaming services, there's YouTube, of course. And it's diluted everything. So it's not an occasion. So yeah, there are some things I'm quite looking forward to. But back in the day, before video recorders, you had to be there for the big events. You know, the Morecambe and Wise, the Two Ronnies, maybe Generation Game, the big blockbuster films, you know, especially before video, when you couldn't rent or buy the films. You know, when the film first came out on the TV, you know, premiere, that was you know, all the family get round and watch it. Because I remember watching The Sound of Music for the first time on the TV. I think it was the early 80s. Might have been 84, 83, 84, I don't know. But I was familiar with the songs because my dad had the vinyl album, so I knew the songs and I remember watching it. And I think I had similar feelings watching that when I saw ABBA Voyage for the first time. You know, it's quite emotional, and it was quite emotional when I saw The Sound of Music for the first time. I might watch that. It might be on. It's probably going to be on, but I've got it on Blu-ray or something, so I might sit down and watch that alongside if I've got time. I doubt I will have. One day I will have a nice relaxing time at Christmas, and the house is always spotless, and that's what I think all the time. Next Christmas it'll be better, it'll be and then it comes along so quickly you think, oh, this is not how I wanted it to be. And then our lives are just hurtling along at a great pace and things pass us by, and it's very sad. But I don't know, I need a rocket up my arse sometimes just to be motivated. But anyway, so I've told you about a few things on at Christmas, some things I'm going to enjoy. I'm sure there's some other things in there that I'd like to record or watch. But yes, that's my Radio Times review. Most of it shite. But there may be a few precious jewels among the pile of absolute pap and rubbish that is churned out in the name of entertainment these days. Yeah, I know I'm sounding like a grumpy old man, but I am. And I miss the old days. And you whippersnappers watching, if you do manage to get to an older age, and the way things are going, well, hopefully you will, but if you do manage to get into your 50s, you might have nostalgic feelings about now, whereas I think now is an absolute disaster. You might, because it could get worse, you know. In 20 years, if I'm still here, I could be thinking back on these years as being, oh, they were the golden age, because now look at us, eating bugs and living in boxes and being monitored all the time and being told what we can and cannot buy. Who knows if that's going to happen? I'm trying not to think of that now. I'm just going to carry on in my own little world, and hopefully none of that encroaches. Oh, dearie me. Christmas is a time for looking back, for reminiscing. It always is. It is for me. I'm sure it is for a lot of people. It's just a time of year when we all take stock, and of course we're coming up to a new year, so you start thinking of the future as well, and maybe things you want to achieve in the new year. It's not all doom and gloom, folks. We can always go back with our memories, watch old movies, watch old comedies, read politically incorrect magazines and books if we've got them, or old Viz annuals before Viz. I don't think Viz is any good anymore. Yeah. Any road up. That's it. That's one of my other extra little shows. Didn't take much to film. Just sat in here in me little doodah and chatted with you. Won't take much editing either, so that's a good one. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, you know, do the old thumb. And I'll see you all for another video. You'll definitely see me for another video, because the Advent series continues unabated. I will be continuing on until we've finished, until Tarquin is full of organs. We've read out all the mindful cards. The Playmobil Advent calendar is finished. And I've pulled out every drawer in the Neil's Yard Advent calendar. So that's something to look forward to, I suppose. So I feel like going to bed now, but I've got too much to do. I must take advantage of the fact I'm alone. Right, so I'm off. I'm going to film another video for my other channel, and I'll see you soon. Mwah! Bye for now.